This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.
You are with LP Giobbi, and our next guest on Femme House Radio is London-born DJ SHERELLE, who is leading a new generation of high-speed ravers who are addicted to jungle, drum and bass, footwork, and juke. I first discovered her from her 2019 Boiler Room set that went viral, and it seems she has not slowed down since. She's held down a year-long Radio 1 residency that's shown her showcase cutting-edge dance music to a mainstream audience. She co-founded the Hoover Sound label and the Six-Figure Gang Squad. Through her DJ sets, radio show, and record label, she gives a platform to both scene elders and new talent, and is committed to pushing 160 BPM plus dance music into the future. Expect more greatness, period. SHERELLE, thank you for being a guest on Femme House Radio.
Thank you so much for having me. So much nice words.
Very impressive. Are you on your way to the airport?
Yeah. It's
Where are you
literally
going?
saying goodbye to New York now. Going back home. So home is London.
Oh, you have a good long flight ahead of you.
I know. I have to try and work out what the best kind of port of call is, whether it's like falling asleep. Actually, I think it is to fall asleep because we get there
It is,
for like 6
and
a.m.
you won't have a hard time doing that. Actually, I think you nailed the flight time.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And
'Cause
hopefully you're
we're going-
exhausted from tour.
Yeah, do you know what? Weirdly enough, I've actually rested quite a bit now. So I was playing. When's the last time I played? Saturday. But I've been here since. I played. Last show was Saturday, basically. So leaving
And you just
today.
got to relax.
Just got to relax
Amazing.
a
How was the full tour?
Full tour was sick. Like really, really jokes. Just really, really amazing. Basically, loved basically catching up with friends.
Amazing. How do you like? I mean, this is such a maybe too broad of a question, but do you prefer to play over in the UK or do you prefer to play in the US? Like, what's the difference for you?
No, I love being able to play outside of the UK because I think, obviously, from being there, you can kind of get into kind of like the UK London swing of things. And it's really nice to be able to play outside. It's a privilege, obviously, to play outside, but it's really nice to play outside of the UK sometimes because then it's like, for a lot of my music anyway, or like the other side of me, is pretty much based in the US anyway. So it was a really nice thing to be able to go to Chicago for the first time, and obviously that's like where footwork is like from, and like catch up with like OGs in that sense. Like
And you played Smart Bar in Chicago, didn't you?
yeah, exactly. So it's like starting off on a legendary,
Wow.
at a legendary
Totally.
club and stuff with like other footwork legends around you, such as like RP Boo, DJ Phil, Crossfire, and DJ Tay. So it was a nice little show out, really.
Wow.
And there was also like the likes of like DJ Hank, who's obviously just released bits on Hyperdub, and then also catching up with like amazing people that have always been in the scene, like Erica Kane as well. So it was nice to bump into those lot because I've been speaking to a lot of them since, or at least
So
in the area since 2014.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that kind of full circle kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you're my introduction to this kind of music, actually. So it's
Really?
it's so funny because in my mind, you're what's that?
Really, I didn't realize.
Yeah, like I saw I'll touch on this, but I saw your Boiler Room set, and I was like, whoa, what is this? I was raised by hippies in Eugene, Oregon, so electronic music in general is new to me. I didn't start producing until like a few years ago, and it's all, it started with house, with the basics, kind of. Anyway, so when I saw your set, I was like, what is this? Like, blew my mind.
So
and so
good,
I
yeah.
thought that, it originated over, out in UK in London, and I had a friend luckily inform me, and so I wouldn't be an idiot if that's not the case. But I was just very impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I'm glad that it did definitely transferred, or at least a lot of people felt relatable to the set, because I think there's a lot of different sounds in there which are international in that sense. A lot of people
it pulled me in and then it pushed me. Yeah, totally.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, I'm glad.
So what is your origin story? How did you become a DJ and discover the music that you are currently pushing the boundaries of?
To put it very, very simply, DJing for me was a way of being able to express myself. I first got into DJing when I was roughly about 16, 15, but I didn't take the actual art form of it seriously, or more seriously, until I was fortunate enough to get a space on Represent Radio, which is a radio station based in South London, a community radio station, and that's basically where my DJ journey begins.
Well, we are very lucky that you got that show, because I've seen all the sets I can see online at this point. I'm dying to see you live, but they blow me away every time. And this is a nerdy question, but I'm just obsessed with trying to understand the best process in this. What does your crate digging music discovery process look like? How do you find and then organize your tracks? Because your sets are like so fluid and all over the place. And what does your record box, I'm assuming if you use that, look like?
Oh, there's a really good video online, basically, where it's for DJ Mag, and they essentially screen videoed my like record box, and it's like, what I do is I organize stuff in like categories of footwork, 160, and jungle, and then I give them like special names for me to like remember. And this all came out of the fact that obviously I used to do a lot of back-to-backs with like people and stuff, and like it just made it easier to find the tracks and the music. I've always been someone who really enjoys spending like copious amounts of hours like searching for music, and will like stay up until I feel satisfied. Bandcamp has been like a savior, and I was using Bandcamp actually a lot earlier than maybe most people have. I feel like Bandcamp's been quite discovered over lockdown. Everyone's really been pushing it during lockdown, but actually it's been up for a long time. And the music that I play, with regards to footwork and regards to jungle, that's how they would actually be able to make their main source of income. It would be Bandcamp, and they would be able to sell the vinyls or their individual tracks and stuff, and it was like outside of like major labels' hands and stuff. So for me, that's how I do it. I literally take time trying to find tunes, but really try and find like the smaller artists as well, rather than focusing on the bigger artists. I think they can make the more interesting music, because there's not that many things influencing them with regards to like money or doing DJ sets, or how tired they are, all this kind of stuff.
Totally. And I think people look to you as a tastemaker and as somebody who's pushing the boundaries, so I think it's very cool that you always make sure to uplift the newer voices in the scene. So as jungle and footwork rise from above the underground, how do you make sure to protect its authenticity and its roots?
The way I've managed to protect at least what I do with regards to playing like footwork, jungle, and anything above 160 is that I feel that I've had a lot of conversations with people to do like things with regards to said genres, but they've not often sometimes felt right. So I've avoided trying to get involved with maybe major labels or other stuff, just to try and protect what I'm doing, because it obviously has a direct effect on not like everyone else. And I think I've just kept in contact with say for instance other people who have ideas about things, but like, it's like almost like work in progress kind of vibes. I think you can kind of tell when basically people are in it for the money or in it for like, say for instance, the passion of it, and I just kind of roll with those people. But I think any advice that I would give to anyone is just to remain basically like independent for obviously as long as you can, because the beautiful thing about the scenes with regards to footwork, with regards to jungle, is that people kept so independent, and now they're in a position where they can kind of do whatever they want. The likes of a Sully, a Coco Bryce, a Tim Reaper, as a prime example, because obviously his label Future Retro. These are all people that have just kept and maintained that independence, and now everyone wants every remix from all of them, basically.
And now they're the gatekeepers.
Want to be involved with them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, even with the word like gatekeeping, I think it's with that it gets. You know, people see that word as like as a word of like people want to keep people out. I think if you're trying to maintain the scene and just make sure that there isn't any like bad people coming through, with regards to like, you know, trying to make a quick buck to actually, you know, mess up the scene and not actually what's the word, grow it, then obviously you can find ways of
capitalize on it.
I think, yeah.
Ah,
yeah, exactly.
I've never
You just want to keep people like that out, really.
Yeah, so gatekeepers actually can have
there
a
has to be
positive
some levels
in a way that,
there should definitely be, because I think with gatekeeping, if people's intentions are pure to just protect and maintain things, then that's a form of good gatekeeping. But a bad form of gatekeeping, obviously, as we would know, is that, you know, if it's you know, the usual suspects that we see, you know, taking over the decks and all this kind of stuff and whatever, then obviously, that's a bad form of gatekeeping, basically.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Femme House Radio. I'll never forget the first time my mouth was just like on the floor, the first set I saw of yours, and I just thought, if I ever get to be around that energy in person, if she plays anywhere near me, I'll be there. So, you know, thank you for pushing the scene and inspiring so many people.
Thank you so much for having me on the show as well, actually. Thank you.
This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band. I said, we all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.